Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of Discard Dead, where we like to open boosters, boxes and decks of out-of-print trading card games. In the Tomb Raider trading card game, you can follow the path of Lara Croft or forge your own as an expert explorer and treasure hunter as you delve into caves and tombs, reaching the darkest depths of sights unseen since ages past. Competing against rival raiders, who will reach the goal first and discover the lost treasures? Hang on, just one sec. That's better. Alright. Before we begin our descent, let's take a look at the tools you'll need, starting with the cards. There are two classes of cards, Environment and Draw, with a number of types in each class. Environment cards include raiders, locations, and treasures. Each player starts the game with a raider card, which determines the player's characteristics in addition to a special power. Raiders have 4 abilities: Fight, which is used for combat situations; Move, which determines turn order and how far a raider can move; Search, which is used for when a raider looks for items; and Think, which affects a raider's hand size. Location cards are used to build the level deck, which roughly determines the path raiders will take. They have a search modifier that affects how easy it is to find something there, a danger modifier to determine how severe an obstacle can be placed there, and some detailed traps or other effects in the text box. Finally, treasure cards are rare and valuable artifacts you may discover that serve as goals that can also grant you special effects or abilities. Draw cards include upgrades, actions, discoveries, obstacles, and secret moves. Upgrades are used to level up and enhance your own raider card by increasing their ability scores and special effects. Actions are tricks or tactics to help yourself or hinder your opponents, and unless specified, can be played at any time. Discoveries are items or effects that are found during the game through a search test. The target number must be rolled with your combined search and location modifier dice. Obstacles are traps or creature encounters played against your opponents to bar their progress. They have a danger level which is checked against the location's modifier and the depth to play. Finally, secret moves are special advantages or hidden knowledges to give you an edge over your competitors. These two classes of cards will make up the level deck and draw deck respectively. The level deck outlines the region that everyone plays in, but everyone has their own draw deck to play tools and tactics from. Next, you'll need some dice and a marker of your own to represent your raider. You can use the Lara Croft model that comes with the starter deck or any other token of your choice. You'll also need a depth tracker and various counters, but these come with the starter decks and I'll explain their use as we go further in. When building the location deck, the different scenarios in the rulebook states which particular cards to use or what theme to build with, such as cave, Atlantean, tomb, etc. Generally speaking, however, you can have only up to 1 of each numbered location card in your deck. Draw deck, however, can contain any amount of any type of cards, but must have at least 30 with a limit of up to 2 of any particular numbered card. If you have 60 or more cards in your deck, you can have up to 3 copies of any card. Each character card has the 4 abilities Fight, Move, Search, and Think, rated by a number. These abilities are used to determine success in ability tests. When making a test, roll a number of 6-sided dice equal to the ability score. To succeed, your dice total must meet or beat the target number. For example, if you had to make a 9 search test and your search ability was 3, you would roll 3 dice, and if the dice total 3 or more, you succeed. Some location or obstacle cards may list a different ability to use. The Dim Cavern location card says Dark, Trap, 7 Think, or 9 Search, Stuck if failed. The player has a choice of rolling Think dice to roll a 7 or Search dice to roll a 9. Additionally, your raider's starting and maximum health is equal to the lowest ability score on your raider card. Each hit sustained by the player reduces their life by 1, and if it reaches 0, they die. Any changes to the lowest ability from upgrades or other means will change your current and maximum health. Before we play, we need to make a few arrangements. First, we choose the level. The rulebook provides a selection of scenarios using themed locations such as caves or tombs with options for larger maps. The scenario outlines what cards are needed for the level deck. And once we have the level deck, we can place the starting locations and the depth tracker on the table. The rest are then shuffled and put at one end of the play area. Next, we choose our character. Pick a level 1 character card, either one of the many Lara Croft cards or another character such as Pierre or Larson. Make sure you also have your draw deck prepared using the guidelines earlier. You can now choose your starting hand by picking a number of cards from your draw deck equal to your think ability. Weapons, tools, or actions that might give you an advantage are good ideas. Shuffle the rest afterwards and put it down next to your character card. Now let's have a quick look at an example of a map setup as well as the rest of the table space occupied by players. On one end is the level deck and the level discard pile next to it. Up here is the depth tracker, showing how far into the site we explore, and beneath it we have the starting entrance card where each player begins. The scenario determines how many empty spaces make up the rest of the play area. These empty spaces will gradually be filled with location cards as players move into them. Note that each location card has the arrows leading to the next available space. Newly discovered locations must be placed so that the new card bottom connects to the arrow the raider traveled. Every level is a certain number of spaces in a grid of unknown spots, where location cards can be placed as the game unfolds. Other than the entrances and any other noted cards, all the empty spots are unknown until a raider has explored them. Outside this area are the player spaces. The layout for each player's space is as follows. Here is the player's draw deck and discard pile, and here is the raider card detailing their ability scores and special powers. In this space is the player's unsaved item discoveries. These remain unsaved until they find and activate a save point somewhere in the level, at which point they are moved to the saved card section. Keep in mind that after leaving a save point area, any new item discoveries are still placed in the unsaved space, until they can save again. Before we get into the game, let's take a quick look at the tokens. They should be kept separate but nearby just in case they are needed. The three major tokens are empty tokens for successfully searched location cards, hit tokens for each point of damage dealt to an obstacle or another raider, and the skull token to signify that an obstacle has been defeated. Keep in mind that hit and skull tokens only apply to obstacles if they have a printed life value. We're down pretty deep here, so let's get into the serious business. There are 4 phases in a turn: the ready, action, search, and draw phases. Each step of each phase is completed by each player in order before starting the next one. On the first ready round of the game, each player rolls dice equal to their move ability. Whoever rolls the highest is the first player, and players act in clockwise order from then. This is called the turn order. At the beginning of each subsequent ready round, players re-roll to determine turn order, as long as at least one person wants to. As we look at each of the remaining phases, it should be assumed that each player completes each step in this turn order. In turn order, each player completes the following steps: movement, explore, play obstacles, fight, and overcome obstacles. A raider can move through a number of location cards equal to her move ability, following the exit arrows. However, if a raider either moves it to an unknown location or ends their movement early, they may not move again until the next turn. Keep in mind, a raider may need to perform an obstacle test each time they enter a location. When moving into an unknown location, draw and place a new card from the level deck. When placing the card, make sure to orient the card bottom to the arrow you followed. When a raider enters a newly revealed location, others have a chance to play obstacle cards. Obstacles can only be played if the card's danger rating is equal to the sum of the location's danger modifier plus the location's depth. If there are more than 2 players, the highest danger obstacle gets played. Keep in mind that obstacles cannot be played on already revealed locations. A raider that ends their movement in a location occupied by another raider may choose to attack them. Both raiders make a fight test. The winner inflicts 1 damage. Some cards, such as weapons or other gear, may increase or decrease the amount of damage inflicted. During and after movement, a raider must encounter all active obstacles at each location, either printed on the location card itself or on any played obstacle cards. If the obstacle has life listed on it, each successful fight test against it will cause 1 hit. When the obstacle's life is reduced to 0, remove it if it is an obstacle card, or place a skull token on the location card it is printed on. Obstacles without life must be encountered and passed each time a raider passes through it. After the movement phase, each player may search for discovery cards. Raiders who used their fight ability during the action round, except raiders who were attacked, may not search. Raiders may even search if they were unable to overcome any obstacles at their location, unless they are stuck. Raiders can make a search test by rolling a number of dice equal to their search ability plus the location's search modifier. If your search ability is 3 and the location's search modifier is +2, you would roll 5 dice. Raiders may then play a single discovery card whose search difficulty is equal to or less than the search result. The player does not need to state what they are searching for until this roll is made. Any item discoveries are played to a Raider's unsaved row. Some discoveries are triggered, they take effect immediately and are then discarded. Only one discovery can be made per location card. Should a discovery be successful, that location is marked with an empty token. Otherwise, the location may still be searched. Finally, the draw round, which is where we fix our hands and clean up our Raiders. First, each player may discard any number of cards from their hand. Then, each player who discarded cards may draw back up to their maximum hand size, which is 6, plus their Think ability. Next, any player who decides they either can't continue or wants to try again can reset. If a player is at a save point location, they can save their game by moving all cards in their unsaved item discoveries to their saved row. They also update their starting point should they need to reload. Raiders who died or chose to reset can now re-enter the game. They discard all cards in their hand as well as any unsaved items, shuffle their discard piles back into their draw decks, and draw a number of cards equal to their Think ability. Finally, they restart either at the most recent save point or the entrance point, with their figure pieces moved to the appropriate location. Where is it? All right. Hey guys, it took a while, but thanks for coming along and learning how to play the Tomb Raider TCG. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next... Uh-oh.